was 1961, and a star field goal kicker for the New York Giants hung up his cleats and fixed his eye on a new career. Pat Summerall really was a pioneer. He was one of the first athletes to make that transition from active player to the announcer's booth. And today, as he observes his silver anniversary behind the microphone, we salute Pat's long career, both on and off the field.
In fair weather or foul, Pat Summerall's timely kicks made him Mr. Clutch for the Giants. His era was the 50s, when the NFL was struggling for recognition in the shadow of college football. He played in the 1958 sudden death championship game against the Baltimore Colts, the one that propelled pro football into the big time forever. Then, when his kicking days were over, he put his vocal cords to work, teaming up with Chris Schenkel at CBS.
He just moved from the field into the booth with a great deal of preparation. And it was obvious to me early in our association that he was going to be extremely good.
Pat was good enough to be given plenty of work on WCBS Radio as a sideline reporter at college games, along with his weekly assignments at NFL games. But he hit his stride in 1970 when he was paired with a former opponent, Tom Brookshire. Pat and Brookie clicked as a team from the start.
Can do a good job.
Right. And they brought a light, irreverent touch to their work.
Both New York teams.
Here's one of their vaudeville skits outside the Redskin locker room prior to the start of a game.
That's what they say. Let's see if I can find out. This is the Redskin dressing room.
Yes, what is it?
Hi, I'm Pat Summerall. Is Coach Allen here?
You're not Pat Summerall. I know him, you're not Summerall.
Well, yes, I am, too.
We knew the game, and we didn't take ourselves very seriously, and maybe we were just right for that time. I guess everybody has sort of a moment in time, and the late 70s was certainly ours.
But the 80s put Summerall head-to-head with a new partner, John Madden, and they proved to be another winner in the booth.
He can say more in a few words than the rest of us can say in paragraphs.
Dexter Clinksdale could go, should go, will go.
The laid-back style, Pat's trademark. And his colleagues had a few choice words to say about it.
People ask me about Pat Summerall, and I say that he is smooth, cool as the other side of the pillow.
He's the ideal announcer. He gives you the information, and you draw your own opinions and conclusions. But every now and then he sneaks one in there and hits you between the eyes with it.
Pat Summerall in the broadcast business, in the sports broadcast business, is a Hall of Famer. That's what we're talking about here.
Pat, a lot of memories for us. I know you're getting ready for the Rams and the 49ers out there in Anaheim. Does any one particular game stand out in your memory as an announcer?
I can't really say that any one game stands out, Brent. I suppose all the people that I've met over the years and been associated with would be the high point of the broadcasting career. Of course, signing with CBS remains the high point of all of it. I guess one game, if I had to pick it out, I'd pick out probably the Dallas-Denver Super Bowl that I did with Tom Brookshire, because his voice failed about midway through the first quarter, and I had to carry most of the load. I don't know that that was the best broadcast I did. It was one of the toughest, and that one stands out in my mind.
Pat, listen, congratulations. You have been a class act all the way.
Thank you very much.
All right.
I'm very grateful.
And Will McDonough, I know that you remember Pat.
I remember him well. I was on the right side of that field goal, Brent. That's what I'm going to tell you.
Terry Bradshaw, Pat Summerall, did your last Super Bowl triumph.
Got to be one of the greatest thrills in his entire life.
All right, let's send you back to the stadium and the game you're enjoying on CBS. Welcome back to New York, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger, along with Will McDonough and Terry Bradshaw. And Will, nothing like a good shot of Herschel Walker to bring back America's team.
Well, listen, he's done well for them catching the ball especially, but he did it in the United States Football League. They used to send him in motion and throw him the quick outs, and he's shown he can catch the ball.
Terry, is it difficult to switch from running back to wide receiver like that?
No, because they knew Dorsett would be running the football, and they probably have sent Herschel in that offensive formation all the time and thrown to him a lot in practice.
All right, they have gone to the half. They lead it by 17. It was that turnover, of course, that fumble by Jones that set up the Cowboys' first touchdown of that game. Giants and San Diego. Giants led this one by 10. Now 29 yards. Fouts to Gary Anderson. The Chargers are on the board. Raiders and the Redskins. And it's a tough defensive game in RFK. A field goal apiece in that one. New Orleans all over Green Bay. It is 24-3. A very impressive performance so far by Jim Moore's team. And you know, Forrest Gregg has just not been able to bring the pack back. 3 intercepted passes. And Will McDonough, what are the Packers going to do for a quarterback?
Well, I think what they're going to do, Brent, is go down to Houston and say, let us have Jim Everett. I do know both teams were talking Falcon last week. Everett was the first-round choice of the Oilers. He hasn't signed yet, and the Pack would love to have him.
All right, Randy Wright started. Vince Ferragamo came in. 2 more interceptions. Now Wright's back in the game. Cleveland and Houston. The Oilers lead at 7-3. Mike Munchak recovers a fumble for the touchdown in that game. Cincinnati over Buffalo. The big combination here is Esiason to Eddie Brown. 2 touchdowns in that game, 35 yards and 17 yards. St. Louis and Atlanta. John Lee misses an extra point. 17-13, the Falcons with the lead. And a big surprise, it is happening, at least so far, in Soldier Field. Would you like to hear Mike Ditka? Oh, has he got something to say to the Bears? Trailing the Eagles by 3. Mike Tomczak replaces the injured Jim McMahon. First 5 passes, 2 interceptions. That one by Alonzo Johnson set up a McFadden field goal, and McMahon's wondering, an emergency might happen. Now here comes the Fridge. He's loose, beats his block. Chow says he got my face mask, but they didn't call it. And Buddy Who indeed. They won't be saying Buddy Who if this holds up. So Walter Payton, still another milestone on that great career. He has now rushed for more than 15,000 yards. The referee hands him the football. Another trophy for the great one. And for Tomczak, another frustrating pass. Waters in the end zone. Oh, watch this now. Watch the Fridge. Forget the football on this pass. Here comes the Fridge, and Byers, eager rookie to impress the coaches. He throws a lick, and the Fridge is going, come on, let's go right here. Hey, Will, they may find Perry again.
Well, listen, he got tagged enough last week. $2,800, $2,000 for when he body slammed Lomax in the preseason game, and another $800 for being in the fight.
All right, let's go on back to the stadium.